Subscribe to Eckovation and press the bell icon to watch the latest technology videos first.
Welcome guys to this fantastic tutorial presented to you by one of the best online learning platform, Eckovation. In the previous video, we studied about what a Bitcoin, what is exactly Bitcoin is. And in this video, we will see how Bitcoin was different than other currencies. So since the beginning of human civilization, we had different types of currencies. Gold was one of the oldest type of currencies and still valuable. We also have currency as silk, silver, copper, and also opium. So there have been many types of currencies across the human civilization. And in the 21st century, in 2009, we had something really unique where we didn't need banks to do a transactions, where we did not require a third party, a third entity to do transaction. Bitcoin was the first successful virtual currency which eliminated the double spending problem from the network. There were few other experiments done previously by many other scientists, computer scientists. There were also cryptocurrencies called BitGold, which were created in the past but failed. They could not be as successful as Bitcoin because to some extent they got stuck with the double spending problem, which I explained in the first video, where you have 100 units of something of a currency and you are giving someone 50 units. So 50 units of that currency should be deducted from your balance and should be incremented to the receiver's balance. Okay, it shouldn't be that if you are sending someone 50, you still have 100 and he receives 50. So this double spending problem was solved by Satoshi Nakamoto. It's completely open source and democratized. It's free. Anyone can join the network. Anyone can participate in the network. As I said, from any race, any background, any country, any age. You just need internet. That's all. The user is given a pseudonymous identity. So there's a small difference between pseudonymous and anonymous. Anonymous is basically something which has no identity at all, which cannot be traced as well. In typical words, I would say a ghost, okay, which cannot be traced at all. The other terminology, pseudonymous, is a person with a different name, okay, with a duplicate name. So for example, me, I name myself Batman or Superman. Obviously, my name is not Batman or Superman, but my name myself, and that name is called a pseudonymous name. It is the whole Bitcoin network is driven by consensus. So there is an agreement between each and every participant in the whole network that this transaction is valid, this block is correct. Let's move to the next slide. Bitcoin is fast. Now, when you want to do a cross-border transaction in the current scenario with current fiat currency, if you are in India, you want to send some money in US, it will take approximately few hours to few days to do a transaction. You have to give the reason for the transaction, you have to submit your identity, and it really takes a lot of time for especially for cross-border transactions. While if you're in the same border, it's fast, but when it comes to cross-border transaction, Bitcoin is super fast. It will take only 10 minutes. It's completely cheap. Now if you want to send 1000 rupees to someone in USA or in Canada or in any further country, 1000 rupees, which is a very small amount, or 2000 rupees, so the transaction fees itself will be more than 1000, which we all are aware of while sending through banks. Okay, I'm talking about banks. So if you're sending 1000 rupees to another country from a bank, they will charge you 1000 as a transaction fees. But if you're sending Bitcoin, they will be very less transaction fees, that is in cents, like 10 cents, 20 cents, or probably 50 cents. It's decentralized. As mentioned, we don't have any third party, any centralized authority or entity controlling the network. who decide how much money is going to be sent to whom. Okay, who can stop you from making a transaction. So if tomorrow you hold a bank account in a certain bank and the bank freezes your account for any reason, your money is gone. If the bank prevent you to do the transaction, you cannot do anything. But with Bitcoin, that's not the case. You don't have any third party, any third entity controlling your account. The power is solely relied on the participant of the network, hence it is called decentralized. There are no chargebacks. So once the Bitcoin have been sent, they are gone. A person who has sent Bitcoins cannot try to retrieve them without the recipient consent. So in today's scenario, especially in banks can reverse the transaction. So there are many transactions like done from stolen credit cards or stolen debit cards, and those transactions are then reversed by the bank. The person who sold his item and received his payment from the credit card from the fraud, who did the fraud transaction from the credit card, is at loss. But that's not the case with Bitcoin. In Bitcoin, first of all, you control your money, so there's no point in you losing your money to credit cards or debit cards. Once the transaction is completed, both the sender and the receiver have a settlement, have an instant or an immediate settlement. The receiver knows that his money or his transaction won't be reversed at any cost. It's impossible. The sender knows the transaction has been completely successful and he will get what he wanted, a delivery of goods or payment in return, whatever. Payment security transaction don't require you to give up any secret information. They use two keys, public key and private key, which is the part of cryptography. It isn't inflationary. So Bitcoin, we have maximum of 21 million. Okay, Indian rupees, we don't know how much they are. Any fiat currency, we don't know their total supply, and the government keep on printing it, and it leads to inflation. But that is not the case with Bitcoin. It's private, so you own the Bitcoin. You don't have to reveal your identity. You don't have to reveal anything about it. But everyone knows that that amount of money is there somewhere. They don't know who owns it, but it's there. Create your own money. So we'll study more about this later. Blockchain also provides us with a platform to create our own money, and there are other ways like mining. With mining, once we solve the proof of work, we can create our own money. We will get to create blocks and get block reward. With every block, we have approximately 12.5 bitcoins, okay, which sums up to nearly $100,000. I started with 50 and went down to 25, then 12.5. So every 4 years, the total block reward reduces to half. So these are the advantages of Bitcoin, and these are the characteristics which makes Bitcoin different from fiat currencies. Hope you have enjoyed this video. See you next time, guys. Bye.